Alright, AT video number 2. Today is Saturday, May 25th. I think in my last video it was maybe Wednesday the 22nd, if that's right. I don't know. I was at Four Pines Hostel, and we had gotten off the trail after doing about 9 or 10 miles because of the heat, and I decided to go to Four Pines and slack pack over Dragon's Tooth the next day. My plan then was to go 8 miles slack packing and then go do a 23-mile day to Tinker Cliffs and watch the sunset. Well, plans changed again, so maybe I should stop mentioning them in the videos. But we did, when we got to Four Pines Hostel, it was a beautiful day. It was very hot. We played cornhole with Joe, the owner of the hostel, which was really fun, and he's really good at cornhole. I did not beat him or come anywhere close. But I'd say we were there for maybe an hour, and then all of a sudden it started to rain, and then it rained harder, and there were 2 other hikers at the road crossing that elected to throw their packs in the hostel truck instead of going back to the hostel and just slack pack that 8 miles. And when they got to the hostel, they were soaking wet, and they said that it started to rain and there was lightning and it hailed on them on top of Dragon's Tooth, and we would have been right there with them at the same time. So fortunately for us, unfortunately for Canadian Bacon and Zen Master, they kept going and we got off. So we all stayed there at Four Pines Hostel, had a great time, and the next day we were going to get up at 5:45 and hit the trail for our slack pack, but the weather was kind of iffy when we got up. It was very foggy and raining a bit, so we decided to wait. We probably hit the trail around 9 or 10, and it had cleared up quite a bit. It was still windy, but it was beautiful, a really enjoyable day. I wasn't feeling that great in the morning, so we decided to just do 8 miles, an 8-mile slack pack day. But it was really fun. We really enjoyed Dragon's Tooth and hung out up there for a while. We ran into Hobo up there and hiked the rest of the way down to the hostel with him. And then when we got to the hostel, we got there pretty early because obviously we were, slack packing and not tired or anything. When we got there, I'd say maybe an hour later, the tribe started to show up, and they had seen my notes in some of the shelter registers telling them to catch up with me, and they did. That was pretty cool to run into them, Obi and Beetlejuice, Tupac, Goatman, Barbarossa, Animal, Scarecrow, Mowgli, Gump. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. So that night we all went to the Home Place, I think is the name of the restaurant, which is like a country style, family style restaurant, which is pretty cool. The next morning we got up pretty early. Again, the weather wasn't that great early in the morning, so I think we hit the trail around 7:30, and our plan was then to go to Tinker Cliffs and watch the sunset. Well, it was super windy all day, which, the temperature was pretty low. For how warm it's been, I think it was probably around maybe upper 50s or lower 60s. With the wind, it was actually pretty chilly. I was cold a lot of the day, especially since I don't have pants anymore, just hiking in the skirt. So we got to McPhee Knob and, going out to take our iconic McPhee Knob pictures, and it was kind of scary because it was so windy. But we did it anyway, of course. Couldn't not do that. So then we got to Tinker Cliffs around 2:45, and that was kind of scary too because of the wind. And it was just too early to stop and too cold to stop and wait for 6 hours for the sun to set. So we kept going. We went to Lambert Meadow Shelter, which is not really a meadow. I don't know who Lambert is or what his definition of a meadow is, but it wasn't really a meadow. And I think we got there at maybe 4, and we were still feeling pretty good, so I thought it was only 8 more miles to Daleville, was actually, I think, 9 point something. We decided, what the heck, let's just do it. So we went all the way to Daleville yesterday, which I think ended up being almost 26 miles. Got to Daleville. We tried to call Canadian Bacon and Zen Master because we thought we lost them because we did our little 8-mile slack pack day, but we thought that we'd probably caught up to them and that maybe we could split a hotel room with them. Well, we couldn't get our phones to work and connect with them, so we just got a room, and the next day we saw them at the Continental Breakfast, and it turns out that they had an adjoining room to ours. It's kind of funny, like our cell phones wouldn't work and they were just one room over. But that's cell service out here for you. So Daleville last night, had the Continental Breakfast this morning, went to Outdoor Trails to get my mail drop there, and Homebrew got some new shoes, which look really clean, but they don't look very comfortable, so I'm not really jealous. And we were trying to hit the trail by 10 or 11 and maybe do like 13 miles or more today, but we just ended up hanging out with Canadian Bacon and Zen Master in their hotel room until 3 p.m. I think we hit the trail actually at 3:30 and just came 5 miles to, I don't even know what the shelter is called actually. Whatever shelter is 5 miles outside of Daleville. So a couple of light days with one 26-mile day in there. But overall, it's been great. There's been rain, and people have gotten soaking wet and hailed on and had lightning near them, but I just happened to luck out and be at the Four Pines Hostel for both of those nights, and I really enjoyed Dragon's Tooth. It was definitely the most technical part of the trail so far, in my opinion. Maybe Klingman's was more technical because of the ice, but this is the first part of the trail that's had rebar drilled into it for you to hold on to while coming down. So that was pretty fun, especially while slack packing. I'm sure it sucked for all the thru hikers that had their full packs on while doing it and in the rain. I couldn't imagine. We really enjoyed it. Enjoyed McAfee Knob even though it was super windy. Tinker Cliffs, I'd love to go back there and watch the sunset. Been a nice couple of days. I'm really cold right now. Probably talking fast because I'm cold. So I think I'm gonna go stand by the fire. I'm here tonight with Wrong Way Grace, a section hiker who apparently gets lost a lot. Old Boy, thru hiker, northbound, and Homebrew. And I think there were some other maybe weekend warriors coming up the trail, but they were having quite a bit of a hard time and stopped to smoke a cigarette, so I have no idea if and when they're going to show up. But yeah, until next time.